Yes, the sweet sounds of This Week in Baseball. Yes, no better theme song. Everybody loves baseball. Just be jacked up on that half-hour show we come on Saturday. Nothing better. We have a little Mel Allen. Look at the show. Doesn't get any better than that. But Oakland A's Weekly here on Telling It Like It Is. And like I said before, I did a preview. First 10 games are on the road. Very tough schedule. Here we are, 5-5. But a couple of things. Wow, for the A's to be 5-5, just amazing. I was hoping for 3-7 on this trip. 10 tough road games against three potentially playoff teams, and probably at least two of them will make it. Maybe a third if the Phillies get their act together. But really, 5-5, way ahead of schedule. And the A's have not been good starters over the years. So being 5-5 for us is a big deal. So just incredible stuff. Just looking around baseball, a couple of big stories from the week. Yankee fans here in New York ready to jump off a bridge with their offense, but then again, you didn't really change your offense. And when you're not hitting home runs, you're not scoring. Losing 2 out of 3 of the Orioles is not a good thing. The A's have to host the Orioles now, so hopefully we'll play better. So that's a tough thing right there. But at the same time, Yankee fans got to be patient. But again, when you didn't change the team that much, they should be a better hitting team with the depth that they had at infield on our Yankees preview we talked about. But hey, they haven't been hitting. Their pitching has been spotty. Chapman looks bad right now. So, but 5-5 for Yankee fan is like the end of the world. Pretty much a lot of them are spoiled fans. So spoiled by all the success. I love when the 30-year-old calls into a radio station, says lifelong Yankee fan. Yeah, wow. You're born in 1992, guy. I mean, when you were like 7 or 8, they won 4 titles in 5 years. Well, must have been rough. So, tough stuff, but still 5-5. Fans ready to jump off the bridge. Mets 7-3 here in New York. I got to give you those updates because it's important. Some of the Yankees couldn't play in Toronto, and some of the A's had to go, couldn't play in Toronto either. Scotty wasn't allowed to play. So interesting stuff going on with that whole thing, and it affects basketball series too. But it's going to be a fun situation. No doggies in the booth today, but just looking at the A's successes here, Murphy's off to a decent start. He did leave second and third, one out, and didn't advance a runner the other day, which A's fans on websites seem to think is no big deal, but it is a big deal. I don't care how good a game you had, you should be able to put the ball in play, and especially when you take strike 2 and strike 3. But the A's off to a good start. Could even been 6-4 if we don't blow that lead to Tampa in the 10th inning. But Murph's off to a good start. 8 RBIs. Batting 256, which for him is good. DH has been helping him. Really happy with Pinder so far, and Christian Pache. I really like. Elvis has gotten off to a much better start than last year, but that doesn't say much. Tony Kemp is just such a professional for us. Seth Brown is not making a lot of contact, but when he does, the ball's leaving the yard. Seth, he's got 9 RBIs already, which in 10 games is pretty good. Kevin Smith has has been coming on as of late. Happy with him. Sheldon Newsay is a player who last year I didn't like at all, but has started to do some things. Jed is professional. Billy McKinney, I'm not really sure what the love affair is with Billy yet. Steve Biscotti had COVID situation, but he was off to a pretty decent start, hitting 286. I'm hoping that he gives us a little leadership. Stephen Vogt with a home run the other day, and I'm not counting on a lot from him. The kids I really like Betancourt, Austin Allen. We had to move down for some on the injured reserve list, and Drew Jackson also. So I'm pretty excited about some of the guys, and it's been an exciting group. From the offensive end, with 21st in batting average, I'm really excited with the new hitting coach. First of all, we got rid of Bush, and he was the worst hitting coach I'd ever seen. The A's for many years had been just one of the worst teams in baseball every year, with man on third, less than 2, and that's pure hitting coach. And so we got rid of Bush, and Kotze's guys are in there, and they're doing a good job. And their approach, you can just see the difference in the approach. And we're putting up more runs with less talent, which again, you could say it's only 10 games, but still, it's a 10 games last year. Our offense was horrendous, and I believe in hitting coaches. I believe your approach at the plate is very important. As a former baseball player, and it's important. So OP on base percentage with 22nd, which is not good. 291. That's horrendous. Slugging was tied for 17th. Hit slugging 376, which isn't great. OPS, we're at 20th in the league, Major League Baseball. Now we can combine all stats because there's DH in both leagues, which I really like about the being able to combine that. I don't like DH in both leagues, but I like being able to compare statistics like that. We're third in Ks. We have 99 Ks already, and that's way too many. But the one stats, there's a couple of stats on the positive offensive side. And, looking at their batting averages, you would never know that the A's would be a pretty decent offensive team right now. But we are, we're leading in runs. We play one more game than some teams, but about the same as some other teams. We have more runs than anybody else in Major League Baseball, which for the A's is, quite amazing. So you don't usually get that out of the A's. So we'll take it. We're averaging over 5 runs a game. We're 17th. We're tied for 4th in homers, which again, I'm not really loving their reliance on the homers, but we're getting it from a bunch of different guys. And we're also 3rd in RBIs. Obviously, if you're 1st in runs, you're going to get the top in RBIs. But the key here is, and the key stat, and like I was telling you, A's for years, 4 or 5 years, has been atrocious with men in scoring position. Right now, we're hitting 367 with runners in scoring position. And that's after 0 for 2 yesterday. So, I mean, like we were batting 400 with runners in scoring position for a while. And it's incredible. That's our approach. And these are young hitters. I mean, we had 12 rookies on our roster the other day, and now we started out with 10. Oh, Rosie's in the booth. My beautiful Rosie. She just turned a year old. Rosie's over here. She's gonna give her a pet right now. Yep, here she is. A beautiful, beautiful Rosie. She is so much fun. What a fun dog she is. Say hello, Rose. So she's been great. But anyway, the A's, 367 with runners and scoring. For an A's fan, this is like a foreign land. Like you could times our runners and scoring position average by 2 the last 4 years, and we wouldn't get that. So very exciting time for the A's offense, even though we're not getting enough rallies. And so the good news is we're good with runners and scoring position. The bad news is we're not getting enough opportunities. Right now we're 25 for 68. So in 10 games, we're averaging about 7 chances. And that's not great. You like a little bit more than that. Some of the games, like I said, were 0 for 2, 2 for 3, things of that nature. So very strange. But hey, we'll take it. Right now, we're 5-5. I did not expect to be 5-5. The thing that concerns me the most is just the starting pitching, I would say, as we have the board up here and the statistics and things of that nature. Cole Irvin, not bad. I mean, he's been a little shaky. He's had some, one big inning against him. But again, he got a 5.4 ERA, but he hasn't been terrible. He's given us a little length in his 2 starts. He's averaging 5 2/3, each start, which in today's baseball you'd really like. But I feel the pitching staff, Frankie Montas has been good. He got a 4.76 ERA, but again, he's been pretty solid. He's given us a little length too, 5.5 plus innings a start. Paul Blackburn, we spotted him to some great leads. Unfortunately, he's 1-0, but he's only given us 5 innings both times, but he's been good. Hardly walking anybody. Very nice stuff. Got a 1.80 ERA, so I'm very impressed with him. The guy I really like was Dalton Jeffries. He's pitching well, 1.93. And again, on the staff, besides Montas, nobody really throwing hard. So we're we're in trouble as far as we're like the all non-throw hard team, which I actually kind of like. It's a break from watching these other guys throw an 85 and then be out by the 4th inning. I guess they don't know how to throw a cutter on the corner and make a guy hit a ball without going a full count. Adam Olaire, though, had 2 really rough starts. He's got 13.50 ERA. He's got great stuff. You can see he's got like a 93, 95 mile an hour fastball in that range there. First 2 starts, though, he's shown some flashes, but he's given up big hits in the middle of the plate. The bullpen has been spotty, to say the least. I would say that Domingo Acevedo was very good until yesterday, and he didn't look good. He's an arm injury waiting to happen. If you look at his delivery, the guy that's really been impressive is Danny Jimenez. I tell you what, I would love for him to take over the closer role, because Lou Trevino, it just gives you a heart attack every night. Heart Attack City. Puck, we had to sit down for a little while already with an injury, so that's just drives you insane. He's got so much stuff, but he's one of those guys that is never going to fulfill it for the A's, like Kurt Dressendorfer and Steve Chitrin and Todd Van Poppel from the early 90s. If you A's fans have been around that long, 30 years ago. That's why we didn't have that bridge from the late 80s to the mid 90s A's, because those pitchers all got hurt. Dressendorfer, Chitrin, and Poppel never panned out for us, and it really hurt us in so many ways. Lou Trevino, like I say, he's got a couple of saves, which we'll take. But he's got control issues, doesn't throw the fastball enough. Yesterday, he finally realized, hey, I'm throwing 98 on the gun 2 days ago, blew it by a couple of guys. Zach Jackson's been very impressive, very good He's been pretty nice. Kirby Snead has been done a decent job. And again, Zach Jackson and Kirby Snead have high ERAs, but in watching them, and I've watched every A's game, playing at 9:40 tonight versus the Orioles, by the way. In watching the guys, I'm happy with what I see. I can't say we're a great team by any means, but being 5-5 right now is I have to say it's been very relaxing this year. Over the last 4 or 5 years, we've always been so competitive. So it's you approach the game a little differently here. Sam Mole has been okay. He's pitched in 4 games. He's done a solid job. Nobody scored on him yet. Justin Grimm and Adam Kolarek, I'm hoping to get more out of. He's only played in 2 games so far. Ryan Castellani's had some decent moments as well. So our pitching statistics, we're 19th in ERA, which isn't great. We're 17th in strikeouts, and like I said, we're we're really a corner nibbling team right now. We've had some quick innings though, which has been nice. Excuse me. We're 22nd in WHIP, so that's something that we can improve on. But at the same time, I really feel fortunate about where the A's are at 5-5, and I see good things ahead for the A's for this week. And again, you don't want to do this to your team, but when you're an A's fan, you got to say to yourself, all right, this week we got Baltimore for 4 and Texas for 3. Well, Texas has struggled, but they're better than their record. So this is one of the situations where you say to yourself, you know what? If you want to sustain, and I think getting off to a 5-5 start is the kind of thing that it doesn't guarantee you much, but it does guarantee you one thing. It probably gets you out of that 100 loss game mode. And that's what I'm looking to avoid. I don't want to go 60 and 102. That's a little embarrassing. At 62 Mets this year. You don't want to do that. Anything over 70 wins this year, I would be pretty impressed with. But, once you start off 5-5, you say to yourself, all right, we're extended for another week of the season before we could say we're officially not going to do it. Because the A's, if they get like 10 games below 500, they're not recovering from that. This isn't the old days where you had some talent with the years of Josh Donaldson or the recent years of Matt Olson and Chapman. And by the way, Chapman still can't hit. So over the weekend, that was funny. Still can't hit. Great third baseman, can't hit. Strikes out way too much. It's just never changes. So we got 4 with the Orioles, 3 with Texas. I mean, if you could ever get 4 and 3 this week, you would throw a party. You could get better. You could get worse. This is what we're dealing with here because we don't have anybody to stop the bleeding if we do get on a losing streak. So that's something that would be bad. So if we could get out of here 9 and 8, I'd be thrilled. If I could get out of here 8-9, I'll tolerate it. If I can get out worse than that, it'd be disappointing. But again, we know where we're at with this team. But what you want to do is my theme I'm going to have is how long can we extend the season? Like before you could say, yeah, you never know. We're hanging around. You just want to hang around as long as possible. Now you say, well, geez, it's only 10 games in. Yeah. So you're 1/16 into the season. You're 6% into the season. But by week's end, you're done with 10% of the season. When this week is over, after Sunday's game in Texas, we'll have played 17 games. That's a little bit more than 10% of the season. And that's just as important as any other 10%. And when you got this young of a team, the longer you could float in respectability or just hang around, as I'm putting it, and that's the phrase I'm going to use a lot. Hey, it's going to be great if we can find a way to stick it out there. So tonight we got Montas and Watkins. Tomorrow we got Irvin. They lost one of their better pitchers. He's out right now. So the tough lefty for the Orioles is going to be out. They have put him down for the 60-day disabled list. So we're going with that same 5 again. So Montas will throw again tonight in game 11. So it's going to be exciting. I'm interested to see what the fan take is tonight. I don't blame the fans if they don't come out. I don't blame them if they do come out and cheer a lot. I don't know how to feel. I don't live in Oakland. Like I said, my goal for this year was to have an honest answer on the ballpark for the A's. I'm not expecting much else. Like I said, I would like to win over 70 games, but I'd really, more than anything, I would consider the successful season if we could just be honest with the fans in the ballpark. So like I said, 4 with Baltimore, 3 with Texas. Like I said, if we could get out of there, that'd be freaking wonderful. And that would be really, really, really exciting. Hopefully we just keep playing hard, and we're hitting in the clutch, and we're getting some quick innings out of our starters. Because again, we have guys throwing high 80s, low 90s, and in today's baseball, that's not strikeout pitches. So we got guys getting quick outs, and we're excited. It's an exciting team to watch. Like I said, I wouldn't blame the A's fans if they didn't come out tonight. I wouldn't blame them if they did come out. I wouldn't call them suckers for doing that. I'm arguing with some of these people on these A's websites that, I'm not going to support this team. Well, the fact that you're still on the A's website shows that you do care. So the guy started laughing. I was like, dude, we're arguing A's baseball right now. So obviously you care about it. If you didn't care about it, you would have taken yourself off the A's fan group. And some of the A's fan groups, one guy was like promoting communism on it, blaming only the owners for the strike. So I just cut him off because he was a tool bag. But the thing is, the players are responsible, the owners responsible. The owners lost money last 2 years ago. This nobody's going to get a 40% raise when your company loses money. I don't know how players could ask for a 40% raise. Is basically what they were. Some of them were asking for when your company loses money. So the thing is, I wish, like I said, baseball would take the ownership away from Fisher. I mean, but maybe rescue us like they did with the Texas Rangers. Just some strange starts in baseball as we check the league. Like I said, here in New York, Yankee fans, ready. Like I said, always ready to jump off the bridge. Well, I mean, nobody in the American League East playing as well as I thought. I mean, Red Sox and Tampa has been a little disappointing, and even the Blue Jays 5-4 with all that lineup. I still think that they're not as good as everybody thinks they are. I know they're the darling in the preseason. The White Sox are going to be very solid in the Central. The Guardians, or I'm calling them the Indians because I don't believe in bullshit or political correctness crap. So the Detroit Tigers, Minnesota Twins, Kansas City Royals, everybody's bunched together. It's kind of funny. Texas is the team that's struggling. I thought they'd be pretty solid this year. Go ahead and get Marcus Semien. You add that to a pretty solid team there. The Angels are 6-4. They actually have a winning record, which is a shock. Houston Astros 5-4. Athletics are 5-5. Mariners, who was another team as everybody's darling, 5-5. Got to get Lewis healthy. I mean, Jesus Lord, this guy's been out for like 2 years. It's amazing. Then, of course, you got the American League, National League East. You got the Mets 7-3, and your fans are still bitching after losses. And it's just like, dude, you 7-3. I think they've had the lead in every game but one, which is the mark of a really good team. You try to explain that to some of these crazy Met fans. And like I said, it's really hard in New York to root for New York teams because their fans are just so annoying. It's just an amazing. So the fact that you've led in 9 out of 10 games, or maybe even 10 out of 10 games, I don't know if they led the game they lost the other day. But again, if you're leading every game, very few teams can say that. If you went around baseball right now and found out how many teams have had a lead in every game, you'd find out that the Mets are the only one. And that's the point. So it shows you how good a team they have. I mean, sure, they got some pitching holes and their lineup needs to be a little more productive, but Buck Showalter yesterday with the appeal play at third. It's nice to have a manager that knows what the hell's going on. And I really like that. We had Bob Melvin, who was very good. Although last year he had brain farts in the bullpen. I like Kotsay so far too. I like guys who are on top of it. I just think Aaron Boone, as I said in my Yankee thing, I thought Aaron Boone was the weak link for the Yankees, and I'll say it again. I just think he's the weak link. I don't think his lineups seem no sense of structure or rhythm or reason. Taking out hot guys for a day off. I don't care when a guy's hot, you ride him like Zorro. But the Cardinals 5-3, Cubs 5-4. I'm just so tired of the Cubs. They should be better than this. And it's again, the Cubs are just very disappointing. The Reds, who stripped down their team 2-8, and that's where I thought the A's would be. But so far, we fought for 10 games. So I give them credit. The Dodgers have now won 6 in a row, 7-2, 7-2. Kershaw 80 pitches after 7 innings, but he just came back off an injury. I actually can't get mad at him for that one. If that's later in the season, I would have a real problem with it. But since he just got back and it was 36 degrees, I understand that. Colorado Rockies 6-3. I mean, very surprising. San Diego Padres 6-5, where Bo Mill is. I wish him luck, and hopefully he didn't take Bush with him, or else the Padres will freaking lose. And the Diamondbacks just don't look like they have a lot of talent. But again, like in our lineup, we have no name that's Skash. I guess Murphy's our best player, but so far we've been producing. So that'll be all we have here on
National League Sky High.
Telling it like it is. Oakland A's baseball, and we're very excited about this year. And, we're really pumped up about it. We're excited about our A's. And like I said, 5-5. If we can get to 9-8 after this week, we'll be really excited. Here we are on the standings right here. We'll see you next time on Tell It Like It Is. Check out our NBA playoff preview, which has been spot on so far. Dead ass, as you people like to say. So we'll see you next time on Tell It Like It Is.